All right, so you're thinking about making a change in your work life, huh? Maybe going freelance or switching to a full-time gig. It's a big decision with a lot to consider, right?
Yeah, it really is. And there's so much information out there, it can be tough to know where to even start.
Exactly. That's why we're here today, to help you sort through it all, cut through the noise and figure out what really matters when you're making this decision.
What's interesting is that it's not just about the money.
Right.
It's really about your personality, your lifestyle, your values.
Yeah, you have to figure out what success actually looks like for you.
Exactly.
So let's start with the side that often gets romanticized, freelancing, right? The whole be your own boss work in your pajamas image.
Ooh, yeah, that's a powerful image. For a lot of people, that flexibility is a huge draw. No set hours, you pick the projects, work from anywhere.
Sounds pretty idyllic, right?
It can be.
Yeah.
But, it's important to understand how that freedom plays out in reality. You're not just trading time for money. You're a business owner.
Okay, so more than just picking up gigs and cashing checks.
Oh, yeah. Much more. One thing that often surprises people is the financial roller coaster.
What do you mean?
You might have a month with 3 big projects, then nothing for weeks.
Oh, wow. So it's feast or famine.
Exactly.
Right.
And that unpredictability makes budgeting really tough. Plus, you're responsible for everything. Taxes, saving for retirement, even health insurance.
Oh, right. So even though you're setting your rates, there's no guarantee of consistent income.
And then you have to juggle all the extra responsibilities on top of actually doing the work.
That's a lot to handle.
It is. And it's not just financial. Something else that doesn't get talked about enough is the isolation factor. When you're freelancing, you miss out on those built-in social interactions you get from being part of a team.
Right. No more water cooler chat.
Exactly. And that can be a big adjustment, especially if you're someone who thrives on collaboration.
Yeah, I can see how that could be tough, especially for people who are naturally outgoing.
It can be a real challenge, building your network as a freelancer.
Yeah.
You have to be really intentional about attending industry events, joining online communities, finding ways to connect.
So it's almost like you have to be even more proactive about networking than if you were in a traditional job.
Precisely. And it's something to really think about if you're considering the freelance route. Do you enjoy building those relationships, putting yourself out there?
That's a great point. It's not just about the work itself. It's about the whole ecosystem around it.
Exactly.
So we've talked about the allure of freelance freedom, but also the hidden costs and challenges that come with it.
Right.
Now let's switch gears and talk about the other side of the coin. Full-time jobs, that steady paycheck is a big plus, but what else is there to consider?
Oh, there's a lot. Stability is huge.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. A regular paycheck, knowing what's coming in each month, it just takes a lot of stress off your shoulders.
Right. Especially when it comes to things like planning for the future or unexpected expenses.
Exactly. And then think about benefits. In most full-time roles, you're getting health insurance, paid time off, maybe even retirement contributions.
Those perks definitely add up.
They do, both in terms of your well-being and your bottom line.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's a significant difference from freelancing, where you have to manage and pay for those things yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole aspect of career development.
What do you mean?
Within a company, you have more built-in opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
Training programs, mentorship, a clear path for promotion.
I see. That structure can be really beneficial, especially if you're earlier in your career and still figuring things out.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of mentorship. Having someone more experienced to guide you, offer advice, can be invaluable.
Yeah, that makes sense. So full-time jobs offer a different kind of security, financial in terms of benefits, and even in terms of your career trajectory.
Exactly.
But of course, there are trade-offs to consider. What are some of the downsides of the full-time life?
Well, the biggest one is probably the lack of flexibility.
In what way?
You're on the company's clock, you have set hours, and you might have limited control over your work location or even the specific tasks you're doing.
I can see how that would be a tough adjustment. After tasting the freedom of freelancing, that structure could feel stifling.
Definitely can.
Right.
And it's not just about the hours or location.
Right.
In some full-time roles, you might find yourself doing repetitive tasks.
Yeah.
Maybe not having as much variety as you'd like.
So it can get a little boring.
It can. And that can lead to feeling like you're not being challenged enough.
So it's not just about the company. It's about finding the right role within that company, one that aligns with your interests and skills and provides enough variety.
Exactly. And then there's the big one, company culture.
Oh, yeah. That can make or break your experience.
Absolutely. And it's something that's often overlooked, especially when you're eager to land a position.
Right.
But it's crucial to do your research and get a sense of a company's culture. before you accept an offer.
How do you go beyond the surface level? What are some things people should be looking for?
One of the best things you can do is talk to current or former employees. Get their honest insights on what it's really like to work there.
That's smart. What about online resources?
Platforms like LinkedIn or Glassdoor can also provide valuable perspectives. Pay attention to things like work-life balance, how the company treats its employees, and whether there are opportunities for growth and development.
So it's not just about finding a company with a cool mission statement or a fancy office.
Right.
It's about finding a place where you feel valued, respected, and supported.
Exactly. And where you see a path for yourself to learn and grow within the organization.
So we've explored the allure of freelance freedom and the stability of full-time jobs, along with the potential downsides of each.
It's a lot to process.
It is. What's becoming clear is that there's no easy answer. The best choice really depends on your personality, priorities, and financial situation.
I couldn't agree more. And before we move on, I'm curious to hear from you. What are your initial gut reactions to what we've discussed so far? Which aspects of these work styles resonate most with you? Take a moment to reflect on that, and we'll be right back to unpack some more specific considerations for both paths. Okay, so we've talked about the big picture, freelancing versus full-time. But now let's get into some of the practical considerations.
Yeah, like the nuts and bolts. How do you actually make it work?
Exactly. So for someone who's seriously considering freelancing, one of the biggest mental shifts you have to make is thinking of yourself as a business owner.
Not just someone who does the work.
Right. You're running a business, which means understanding things like taxes, contracts, managing your income.
So it's not as simple as just sending an invoice and getting paid.
Not quite. You're responsible for things like quarterly tax payments, tracking expenses, making sure you have contracts in place.
That sounds kind of overwhelming.
It can be if you're not prepared. But there are tons of resources out there to help. Yeah, online platforms, communities specifically for freelancers. Accounting software, legal templates, courses on how to run your business.
So you're saying being a successful freelancer isn't just about the skills to do the work.
Right.
It's also about having the business skills to manage everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's something a lot of people don't realize until they're already in it.
Yeah, makes sense. So if you love spreadsheets, and organizing freelancing might be a good fit?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But if you hate paperwork, it might be a struggle.
True. Now, on the flip side, for those thinking about a full-time job, we talked about company culture. How important is that, really?
Oh, it's huge. It can make or break your experience, even if the job itself sounds amazing.
So how do you assess company culture? Go beyond what's on the website.
Talk to current or former employees. Get their honest insights.
Good idea. What about online?
Platforms like LinkedIn or Glassdoor can be helpful too. Pay attention to things like work-life balance, how they treat employees' opportunities for growth.
So it's about finding a place where you feel valued.
Exactly. Where you feel respected, supported, and where you see a path for growth and development.
Right. That brings us to career growth. We talked about advancement within a company, but how do you actually make that happen?
Seek out mentorship. Find someone more experienced who can offer guidance.
Mentorship is so valuable.
It really is. And don't underestimate networking within the company. Build relationships across different departments. Get involved in projects.
So it sounds like both freelancing and full-time jobs require a proactive approach.
You got it. You have to be intentional about networking skills development, managing your career.
Taking ownership.
Exactly. Now, one more thing that's relevant to both paths. The importance of continuous learning.
Oh yeah, the world is changing so fast. It's like you have to constantly be upskilling.
It's true. No matter what you do, the skills you need today might be different tomorrow. So how do you stay ahead of the curve?
What are some ways to approach skills development?
Online courses and workshops are great. There are so many affordable options now.
Yeah.
Industry conferences are also a great way to learn and network.
And finding a mentor can be helpful too.
Absolutely. It's all about being proactive, investing in yourself, recognizing that learning is a lifelong journey.
So we've covered a lot in the segment. The practical side of freelancing company culture, the need for continuous learning.
As we move on, I want to leave you with this thought. Both freelancing and full-time jobs have their own challenges and rewards.
It's not about one being better.
Right. It's about finding the right fit for you.
And recognizing that the world of work is always changing.
Being adaptable is key. So let's take a moment to reflect.
Think about what we've talked about and ask yourself, what does a truly fulfilling work life look like to you? You know, it's funny. We've been talking about freelancing and full-time jobs like they're totally separate things.
Yeah.
But is it really that simple anymore? I feel like the lines are getting blurrier.
You're right. It's not always black and white, We're seeing a lot more of what's being called hybrid work models.
Hybrid work models.
Yeah, people combining the best of both worlds.
Okay, I like where this is going. What does that look like?
Well, some companies are offering more flexibility to their full-time employees, like working remotely a few days a week, or having more control over their hours.
So you can have the stability of a full-time job with some of the freedom of freelancing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some companies are moving towards a more project-based approach, even within full-time roles.
Interesting. So it's not just about where you work, but how you work.
Right. And I think this reflects a shift in how companies are thinking about work. They're recognizing that people have different needs and preferences.
It makes sense. If you want to attract and retain talent, you have to adapt.
Exactly.
I feel like this hybrid model is really appealing to younger generations.
Oh, absolutely. They value work-life balance, and they're not afraid to challenge the traditional ways of doing things.
It's not just about the paycheck anymore.
Right? They want work that's meaningful, that allows them to learn and grow, and that fits into their lifestyle.
And technology has made all of this possible.
Definitely. With remote work tools and online platforms, we can work from anywhere, collaborate with anyone, build careers that fit our individual needs.
It's pretty exciting when you think about it. So many possibilities, so many different ways to define success.
It really is.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, let's go back to that question you asked earlier.
Yeah.
What does a truly fulfilling work life look like to you?
It's a big question. And there's no right or wrong answer. But it's worth taking some time to think about it, because the answer will guide you as you make decisions about your career.
Absolutely. Maybe it's about finding work that aligns with your passions.
Or maybe it's about having the financial freedom to pursue your dreams.
Maybe it's a combination of both.
Right. Whatever it looks like for you, remember that it's achievable.
The key is to be proactive.
Right. To be open to new possibilities.
And to never stop learning and growing.
And don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. The old rules of work don't always apply anymore. You have the power to create a work life that truly fulfills you.
So go out there, explore your options, and build a career that you're passionate about. The future of work is yours to shape.
And that's it for this deep dive.
Thanks for joining us. We'll
Okay.
see you next time.